Okay, so I took the bread out this morning. As you know, we put it on the cookie sheet. And I took the bread out of the refrigerator this morning, and it's been sitting on the counter for about 4 hours now, and that's what got it to room temperature. You can see how much it's spread. When you just leave it free-form on a surface like this, it won't go up the way it does in a bowl or a banneton. It kind of spreads out. And you can see I push, and it slowly comes back. So that's telling me it's ready to go. And so we've had our oven set to 500. It's been preheating for over a half an hour. The kitchen's kind of warm now. I have my ice cubes ready to go and to be put at the pan at the bottom of the oven to create the steam. And I'm going to now take some rice flour, and I'm going to just sprinkle my peel liberally, and that will allow the bread to slide on there. This is another benefit to having, to shaping your bread in a bowl or a banneton, because you would just take the bowl and invert it directly on there. This time we're going to slide underneath, and we're going to hope it works out okay. So first, before we can put the bread in the oven, we've got to score it, and that allows the bread to lift up and out without exploding. I'm going to just do a simple square or tic-tac-toe board. And that's all we need to do. And you can see it already kind of is deflating. Don't worry about it though. I'm going to pick this up, and we're just going to jiggle it on there. There we go. Makes a little bit of a mess. To the oven we go. I set this down, and I give a quick slide it on the stone. Got to close the door. Sorry that was a little quick, but we don't want the temperature to get out or drop. I'm going to quickly go like that. You see how much steam we're starting to create. Now we set the oven to 5 minutes. And we're going to let that rise. Turn that on. Maybe you can peek inside there, and you'll watch as the bread lifts up. Okay, it's coming. Trust me. It's going to start coming up. It will not rise as be a tall loaf, like I said, because it has the opportunity to spread out if it's a soft dough. So, again, I mentioned one of the items that's handy to have is a scraper, and you can see why I can save all of this. I have some more breads going later today, so I'm just going to use that, kind of keep it all in a neat spot, easier to clean. It's also handy if you can get yourself a big plastic bag. Sometimes you'll get something shipped in a plastic bag, maybe a pillow. I believe a pillow came in this one. And I saved it, and it's more than big enough to cover over a cookie sheet, big bowls, anything. And I save it and always just use it for my bread. Again, scraper works well. Just scrapes everything up and helps you keep the area a little cleaner. So, we've got to wait 5 minutes, and what we're going to do is as soon as the timer goes off, we will turn the temperature down to 450 degrees. We will set the timer to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go in with my big spatula and turn or rotate the bread all the way around so it gets a nice even cooking. And then we'll set the timer to another 10 minutes. So it's 5 minutes at 500 and a total of 20 minutes at 450. And then the bread will be done. Now the 5 minutes on the 500 degree oven has finished, so we're going to drop the temperature to 450, and we're going to set the timer, stop that, we're going to set the timer to 10 minutes. When the 10 minutes are up, I'm going to reach in there, and we're going to rotate that bread all the way around, and hopefully by that time you'll see it has risen even more. So, see you back in 10 minutes. Well, here goes the buzzer. So we're going to turn that off, and now it's time to rotate the bread around, all the way around, so that it cooks nice and even. So take a quick piece at this loaf. This is why it's kind of handy to have a long spatula. And you can see the bread is not perfectly round, it's not perfectly shaped because we sort of freeformed it and allowed it to move on the cookie sheet. I'll show you later what bread made in a banneton will look like. And you can see this is one that's just currently rising. And you can see the bubbles starting to form here. It's got a little ways more to go before we cook it. So I would say maybe another hour of rising in the kitchen. This had been kept in the refrigerator. It was cold for a long time, and then I brought it back out at room temperature. So we'll take a peek at that and invert it onto the peel and pop it in the oven. And then you can get a look of how the two different breads look. They look different. They will probably not be any different on the inside crumb, but you never know. Bread can really surprise you sometimes. So we'll see you in a little bit when the bread comes out. Oh, there goes the buzzer. Time to take the bread out and see what's happened. Well, the kitchen smells wonderful. And the bread, it's hot, has a nice hollow sound when tapped, so it's done. It has a nice crust. You can hear the sounds, but again, as I said, it's kind of got an odd shape because it's a little more rustically formed. But when we do a bread that has been shaped in a bowl or a banneton, we can compare. So we'll do that later. One of the things that I did mention earlier is that having a pastry brush can be a little handy for dusting off some of that extra rice flour. That's another reason I like the rice flour, though it comes off nice and easily and it doesn't make the bread taste floury. You can see a little bit underneath. It's just a little extra flavoring from the stone. There you go. So we'll come back later when we're ready to put the bread dough that's been shaped in the banneton and in the ball. We'll be back and we'll try one of those and we can compare.